Hello everyone, welcome back to Fit Mom Mia. Today's episode will be about meal prepping and you will get to see what I do to meal prep for my clients. So I have a few orders that I will be fulfilling in this video. I'm not going to go into every little detail, but you'll get to see like different ways that I meal prep, the different types of foods that I have and what I do. So be sure to subscribe and share and like the video. Let's get cooking. All right, so I'm first going to start off with my poultry. So what I will be doing is cooking some fresh chicken breast, which I have my yellow cutting board specifically for poultry. So I actually have 4 different colors here. This is for vegetables, the green one, red is for meat, and blue is for seafood. So these are brand new. I actually got this as a Christmas gift. So I am just using these and to let you know how it goes, I guess. So yes, I have everything color coordinated, and of course I sanitize them properly. You don't have to worry about that. Anywho, so right now, this specific client that I'm cooking for, I am being careful with seasonings because there's a lot of allergies, so I'm just using regular seasoning salt. And then I have some garlic, roasted garlic in here. So for her food, I'll be using those. I have some chicken breasts here. I slice them fairly thin. And then in this bowl, I have ground turkey. So I'm just going to season that up, both of them with the same seasoning. And when you're dealing with people with allergies, you really want to be careful about mixing seasonings because there may be some things in there that they just can't tolerate. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Just going to use a fork here, turn it around because I like to season on both sides. I don't know about you, but that's just something that I do. And since they're both poultry, you can use the same fork, so that won't be an issue. Going to sanitize everything afterwards anyway, because I know that there's always that person to be like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, calm down. All right, just gonna mix this up. Make sure that the ground turkey is seasoned well, because ground turkey tastes bland usually, so we want to season that up. Now, right now I have my husband, my oven on 375. I'm also going to turn my stove on medium heat for the ground turkey and going to just mix all that together. And I'm going to place my ground turkey, turn on the light here. Maybe we'll add, I don't know, just extra light. I'm gonna put that into the pan like so. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this bowl aside because it needs to be sanitized properly. So I'm just cooking that meat there, and then over here I have a tray, and I always put some water at the bottom of the tray just so that the meat won't burn. And I'm going to put the meat on the tray like so. Very simple. Like, meal prepping is, I won't say it's easy, but it can be if you just do one method of cooking. Like, if you just cook everything in the oven, it's a little bit easier. That's a tip. All right, so I'm going to put this in the oven here. I'm putting it on the top rack. Okay, so the meat is in, it's cooking, it's getting ready to go. So now let's work on our veggies. So I'm going to sanitize my whole area, and then I'm going to break out the veggies. I like to get the meat in first because that takes a little bit longer to cook, and I want it to be cooked thoroughly. So now I'm going to clean up. All right, everyone. So now I'm going to start chopping some sweet potatoes, and I have my gloves on just because I'm touching this more than the other things, I was using a fork. So I'm going to use these gloves. And I like to make the sweet potatoes into cubes. So I'm just going to chop it all up here. All right, so everything is nice and chopped in cubes. I put them in pans. I already oiled the pans with olive oil, and now I'm just going to drizzle some right on top, just so it's not dry. You know, you don't want dry potatoes. Okay, and of course seasoning, you gotta season it up. And I like this seasoning salt because it has a mixture of different spices in here, so that way I don't have to keep going to the cabinet getting more and more stuff. So that is nice that I can do that. And just do a little bit of garlic, not too much, just a tiny bit, just to add that flavor, you know. So now I'm going to put this into the oven, but I like to put this on the bottom tray, just because potatoes take a longer to cook, and I just want to use the bottom tray. Now I'm gonna check on my chicken right now. My chicken is looking good, looking good. If you can see that, a lot of juices in here. So what I'm going to do is just flip it around here ever so gently. I'm using my left hand, so I'm not left-handed. But this looks really good. Okay. So, all right, now we're just gonna put this right back in. Close that up. So I have my ground turkey here. It's still cooking. It's not fully cooked, but it's almost there. I'm just breaking it up into smaller pieces, just like so. All right, cool. So now I washed this already. I have a pot of kale. I'm just going to turn on this pot, cook some kale, and I'm going to take this zucchini. It is freshly washed already. I have my green cutting board here. Just gonna put this down and start chopping the zucchini. So first, as you should do, cut the head and butt off. Right, and then what I like to do after that is just cut the zucchini in half, like so. Just like that. All right, so now we have these half pieces, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Cut those in half. I think you know what I'm about to do next, right? Make them into cubes. You could keep them long like this, but it's up to you. You can do any shape that you want. I'm just, you know what? Let's do that. Let's cut them in like this. Make them like, because this is a cool shape. So I bet you a lot of people haven't eaten them that way, and it will be new for them. I usually make them circles, like cut circles, but this time let's be different. I mean, it's all gonna taste the same. It's just gonna be more of a crunch, because sometimes when I cut it up into circles, it tends to be mushy if I cook it on the stove. Well, too, it depends on how long you leave it. And if you cook it in water, it tends to be mushy. So instead of just doing water, I like to saute it in butter. But yeah, these long, well, I just chopped them up. I made them about, oops, dropped that one, can't use that. But I made them into like these sizes. So this would be pretty good. I'm actually going to put these in a pan. This right here. Again, same thing with the olive oil. Let me check on that, turn that down a little bit. Okay, so our turkey is definitely done. So that's good. Can move it off the hot stove. Okay, so we have these. And this will be on the top tray of the oven, of course, because the bottom is taken with the potatoes. Okay, so take off those gloves there. Season this up. Make sure you season your food. Nobody wants bland food, okay? You don't have to put a lot of crazy stuff, but just make sure it's seasoned. All right, so I'm going to put this in the front and wait till it cooks up. So far we are doing great. So let's cook some more. All right, so I have some fresh broccoli here. I'm just going to roast in the oven. Because another thing too with broccoli, I don't like cooking it on the stove because sometimes it gets mushy. It's just, I don't know, I don't like that. So again, I said my meal prepping style is a little bit easier because I put things on the oven. Certain things I can't put in the oven, and that's like, you know, the ground turkey and stuff like that. I mean, I guess you can, but that's not something I typically would do. So that I'll cook on the stove. So there's certain things I'll cook on the stove, like kale that I have there. But if I want to make my food like kind of crispy, I'm going to use the oven. And I don't like soft, mushy vegetables. If you like that, then that's fine. If you're cooking for someone that's older who prefers that, that's totally fine. It's just not me. I can't do that. I think I like to feel the texture of the vegetable, how it's supposed to feel, and it just should not be mushy. I just can't do it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. Just chopping the broccoli up, putting it in the pan. You don't have to cut it too small, but just make sure it's like this, like, you know, that it will cook properly. And I have water at the bottom so that it cooks nicely in the oven. So you don't, another tip too, you don't want to put too much water at the bottom because of course you can overdo it, but you want to put enough where it just won't burn and it would actually cook properly. So this is what I have in the trays. I'm just going to move this over. Put this over here for now. All right, so I'm going to, take out the chicken. Ooh, that oven's hot. Almost burned off my eyebrows. Oops, get it together, Mia, get it together. All right, so our chicken looks pretty good. You probably can't see it, not gonna tilt it too much because, you know, I want the juices to fall out, but the chicken's done. and I'm gonna take that out to let it cool. The next thing I'm going to do is check on my potatoes. So I'm gonna put them right on the stove, right here. One there. Whew. All right, so let's, turn them, flip them, mix it around there. You want to make sure that it's cooking nicely, and it is. It's definitely softening up. And that's why I like to cook it in those smaller cubes. And especially when you don't have a lot of time to make stuff, you want to cook it in smaller chunks. So here we go. This looks good. So everything is looking good. I'm going to pop this back into the oven on the bottom rack. Really hot in there. And I'm gonna look at my zucchini and see how the zucchini is doing. They are doing well. Again, we're going to just flip it over, stir it up, make sure that we're getting all sides here. Perfect. And go ahead and put that back into the oven. Now, I'm trying to see if I could put the broccoli in, and I think I can on the top shelf, because these pans are small, so I could fit them. And that's why I like using the oven, because you could fit a lot of stuff in there. So I'm going to let this cook. I will give the potatoes probably another 10 minutes or so, and the zucchini should be finished roughly around the same time, because I did put them in after. The kale is definitely done here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and turn that off. But let's see, I'm trying to think of some other things that I would like to cook. I usually do potatoes. I also do rice, so I can make a small pot of rice, and then you'll just see, different combinations. Now, for this particular client, she doesn't really have any special requests. It's mainly she likes chicken breast and potatoes. That's what I made. So, you can, when you meal prep, you can put some rice. I recommend brown rice, just because white rice is usually stripped of its natural state, and you really want to get the true benefits of the whole grain and not just part of it. So that's why I would say that. But otherwise, I'm almost finished. Again, this is for a client, so I can show you how I do it. I usually, cook fish and stuff, but that could be another episode. So let me get these containers ready, and y'all will see how I have everything laid out. So the food is done. I'm still waiting for the broccoli, but I have my potatoes I just took out of the oven here. So I'm gonna start putting things in the container. Let me grab this, the little holder, so I don't burn myself. But yes, this looks really good. Oops, spilled some. Of course, gotta be clumsy. But I'm gonna just put this in this container. These containers I got from Amazon. They're meal prepping. Come with the little top, clear top. I bought a whole case. So when I mention clients, I'm a nutritionist, which I've said on another video. But if you didn't know, now you know. I'm a nutritionist, personal trainer, and wellness coach. And I have a meal prepping business. And one thing I like to help people with is just healthy eating. So usually my clients want to lose weight. So that's why they ask for me to cook for them. But I do have clients that are athletes as well, and they just need help with like their macros. So yeah, I pretty much can do it all. One tray is complete, and then I have my other tray just to fill up here. I made extra potatoes, so that's fine, because whatever is extra I will definitely eat for myself, okay? All right, so I'm gonna put that there. Let me just pick up the potatoes that fell. They're nice and soft. So this is good. This is really good. All right. So now I'm going to add, and this pot is heavy. Goodness. I'm going to add my meat. So this is the ground turkey. Just put it off to the corner there. Ooh, almost dropped the pan. It's late at night over here. I'm like a little tired. It's like 11 o'clock almost. Yes, it is 11 o'clock actually on the dot. So yeah, you know, I'm a little tired, so I'm a little woozy, a little off. All right, so that's good. Just going to put that there. Now we have the zucchini. Gonna mix right in the middle here. Oh yeah, they're gonna love this food. Telling you, meal prepping, it will save you a lot of time, especially if you're on the go. You really want to get into the meal prepping. You really do, because it will save so much time for you. All right, so I'm trying to mix things up here. Like, all right, this chicken, I could put in this one if it fits. A lot of times I like to cut the chicken just because it doesn't always fit. So let me do that now. Get like a hand to do that. I should have thought about cutting it for them. I usually slice it, and that's what I'm gonna do because it's, there we go. And then move this. This is why it's important to wear gloves, just so that you can do this. I mean, obviously, if you're meal prepping for yourself, you may not need to go to that extent, but I like to wear gloves at least. Put that over there. And I made some scallions, and I put the scallions on top because I needed some type of color to the meat. Like I said, she has a lot of different allergies and stuff, so I'm very careful with the seasoning. Otherwise, I'll show you more videos. I have more seasoned stuff, but again, like I just said, you want to make the food based on the client's need. And of course, be respectful of allergies, because people out here have allergies, and it's pretty crazy ones too. So I'm gonna just take out the broccoli here. This is how it looks. It smells really good, actually. So I'm gonna put that down here. Get some tongs for this. Put some broccoli over here. And look, it's not even like mushy. Like, you could still hold it up. Like, that's what I love about it. So it's still gonna have that crunch, which I absolutely love. Some people don't like the tree trunk. I do. It has a lot of fiber, and broccoli also has protein. So it is nice to eat those things. I won't put it in hers because she may not like that. Not everybody does. And this is a person who's not used to eating vegetables. So you don't want to add things like that in there if they're not used to eating vegetables at all, because then they're just gonna be like, ew, I don't like this. All right. So that's good. Now I need to take, this is for the chicken here. You need to put some juice, because you can't have no dry chicken, right? Could put a little bit of juice in the ground beef too. It's all poultry, so it's the same. Now, if this was beef and you putting beef juice on, you know, the chicken, I would be like, wait, what are you doing? That's a little weird. A little weird. All right, so there you have it. These are the meals. This is what it looks like. Very simple, super healthy food. Look at this. And again, this is for someone, they're not counting calories, they just don't know how to eat right. So here I am to help, Fit Mom Mia, right? So thank you for tuning in for this meal prep journey with me. I will have some other clients that have some other requests, so I will make a video on those. But tonight I am finished. I am about to get ready for bed. Thank you for joining. Bye. See you later.